I must say, I just wanted to say something, not too long, hopefully. Well, we'll see. I mean, this election and the Bernie Sanders debacle reminds me of when I was younger, much younger. And when you're younger, you have a lot of ideals and things that sound great, And at the time when I was younger, I was living in San Francisco, was pregnant with my daughter. So that was quite some time ago, over 30 years ago. And you hear things like at that point, what was sounding really good was basically communism. Oh, everything is one for all and all for one and equal, and it sounds really good on paper. Just like the Bernie Sanders socialism thing sounds really good on paper. But the problem is, and what his followers have not come to realize yet, it doesn't matter how many great intentions you have and you wish that all schooling was free and you wish that all medical was free and you wish that all these things would happen. Unfortunately, we live in a democratic country, which means that you have the House and the Senate, which you have to get things passed by, get these laws and these changes passed by. And unfortunately, at this present time, the Senate and the House are Republican. Okay, so it doesn't matter how much you want to have passed and how good your intentions are, they veto, 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 and make the incumbent president look bad. Okay, there are a lot of things that I'm sure that Obama would have liked to have done, and I'm sure Hillary would like to do, to move this country forward. But when you have a House and a Senate that is not Democrat, that's not under Democratic rule, you have a very, very difficult time. You have a very, very difficult time to get things passed. So again, they have to look at the system here is a democratic one. Again, socialism sounds really good on the surface, but you have to look at where we are at and how we can go forward in this country versus pie in the sky things. I mean, I'm sure we all wish we had a money tree that was growing in our yard, and it doesn't matter how much you want to, strike or protest or want it, it's not going to happen. Now, the problem is that I see that what's happened with the Sanders, he was so virulent against Hillary Clinton and pulled out no stops to make her look bad, that now, of course, he understands that she's 1,000 times better than Trump would ever be. So now he's trying to rein in his people and get them to vote for Hillary, because at least that you can build on. With Trump, there's nothing to build on. There is no way to go. But his people are so angry, he's got them so wound up that they're not listening to any kind of reasonable common sense at this moment. And unfortunately, he is still talking out of kind of both sides of his mouth. I hate to say it, but that's what's happening. On one hand, he's saying you have to, vote for Hillary, and in the other hand, no, voice your dissent, call for the roll call, as if it's magically the numbers are going to change, and he's going to get in and run on a Democratic ticket when he's actually a socialist. Why he's even at the Democratic Party, one wonders. But anyway, so yeah, of course, a lot of his ideas sound good. But the way he ran his campaign and the way that he has downgraded everything about Hillary Clinton, of course his constituency doesn't want to vote for her. Now he's got to backtrack and he's got to do damage control. He's got to do damage control in order to make this situation better. Because if they think that it would be bad to have Hillary Clinton in office, trust me, If you still want a country, you better be voting for Hillary, because if Donald Trump gets in office, we will no longer have a country. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. He is not a statesman. He's a dilettante. No clue. He hasn't been in politics except for to pay off politicians. So only politics Trump knows. If you look at his record, for God's sakes, he wants to bring jobs to America? No, he brings in workers from other countries, over 1,000 workers from other countries, then doesn't want to pay them. Rather than raising the minimum wage, he wants to get rid of the minimum wage. For God's sakes, look at what Trump stands for. Look at the fact that the House and the Senate is Republican. Look at the fact that he wants to change the judges there because he had a ruling against him by a judge, and because the judge is Hispanic, he used that as a platform that judges, against him because he's Hispanic, he's got no business being a judge, etc., etc., etc. For God's sakes, people, wake up. So this is the problem when you have people running against somebody else, and they're so virulent, and then they basically kind of cut their own throats when they don't get the nomination. Then they have to backtrack and do damage control. So you can't, continue to rail against somebody how horrible they are and then turn around and say vote for them. And all the while talking out of the other side of your mouth saying now dissent and call for a roll call, because I'm not going to, on one hand, yes, I'm endorsing her. On the other hand, no, I'm not. What game is he playing? This is ridiculous. Again, people, look at the facts. I don't care how much you like Bernie Sanders. He did not win the nomination. He does not have enough votes to get the nomination. Okay? If you want it to change to a socialist country, then you need to get out there and think about changing things from the bottom up for next election. But this election, look at what's there. Look at your options. There are two options. You either vote for Hillary or you vote for Trump, or you vote for a third party and then throw away the election and get the worst of two. Okay? If you don't like Hillary and you don't like Trump, which is the lesser, according to you, of the two evils? If you look at it rationally, you will see that the lesser of the two evils would be Hillary. I happen to think she's a pretty good candidate. Anybody that's been in public office and politics as long as she has, they're going to throw dirt at them. That's the way it is. Okay, they will make her a scapegoat for so many things that happen. Okay, that's what happens in politics. Okay, it's the lay of the land. Okay, but you look at Trump, he's got absolutely no political, he can't talk to people. He's just, all you're going to get is somebody that's going to meet with other countries and piss them off royally. He doesn't want to do trade unless he can get it in his direction. You know how much stuff we get from China? He's going to cut off all the trade from China because it's not going to go his directions. They're going to say, give you a one-finger salute. Then do you know what kind of problem we'll be in this country? Look at how much things are all manufactured in China. And while it's great, we're going to bring jobs back to this country. Look at the absolute breakdown that will take place. For God's sakes, people, wake up. Please wake up. So, hope you've gotten through this whole video. I know it's not what you're going to want to hear. I know it's going to really make some people angry. Yeah, even my daughter is very pro Bernie. And I can understand that. I was young, I was young once too, and I understand when you're upset with the system and you wish that this was free and that was free and you wish it was better, and then you want to go way over to the other side and don't really look at the ramifications and how things have to take place, how to move things forward. That's not the way. Don't cut off your nose to spite your face, because as bad as it is now, and you think it's bad, my suggestion is go live in a few other countries where it's bad, and then you'll be happy to be here and have the opportunity to work things and move things forward in a beneficial way. Yes, we all want change. We all want to see a better healthcare system. We all want to see better opportunities for schooling. I never had those opportunities. Of course I would like to see it. Of course we would all like to see it, but there is a way to move things forward, and there's a way to get pissed off and throw tantrums and get nothing done. Okay, don't throw tantrums and get nothing done. Look at the reality. Look at the reality of where we are and move forward and build upon it in a way that's possible to go forward. That's all I'm saying. Okay, namaste, have a good day. Bye, everyone.